Hi, Mary Ayers here from tapintooaction.com. And today we're going to do some tapping on opening up our capacity to receive. The idea of receiving is something we all need a little bit of work on. And the good news is that it's a skill that we can build. A lot of people think of it as something that just happens if we're lucky. But the truth is, being able to receive more is about opening up our container to be able to have the capacity to feel that we're worth it, that we're deserving of having more, that we are receivers. And I'm going to give you a little exercise to do. It's going to show you how good of a receiver you are, all right? And then we're going to do some tapping to open that up. And this is the kind of tapping you want to come back and do over and over again, because if you are wanting anything, you want abundance, you want a relationship, you want health, you want more peace of mind, you want more spirituality, all of it involves being a better receiver, being open to it. And the truth is, some of us got messages about receiving, about having, about asking and letting in. We were taught that it's better to give than it is to receive, and or that you've got enough. Think about the messages you got growing up about receiving. And if it wasn't practiced in your house, how did you see people receive? Or were they kind of pushing it off? No, no, that's okay, thanks. Did you feel that you needed to give something back if you were receiving? That it was an exchange. So you gave me something, now I have to give you something in return. And now we feel obligated, and that closes us down too. So, what is your story behind receiving? Figure that out. Understand where you got it. We're going to help open up the container that helps us receive by doing a little bit of tapping. And here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to do a little exercise with me. And we're going to see how big your current container is. And I call it the arms wide open exercise, okay? So, I want you to open up your arms. How big can you get them? That feels comfortable, that you are saying, I'm a receiver. Okay, now feel what that feels like. Where is that for you? Do you feel you can only open your arms to here before you start feeling a little, that doesn't feel quite right for me? This might be new information for you. You didn't realize that you had some limitations around your ability to receive. So maybe you might say, I'm open to receiving unending abundance or love or health. Put your arms out here and see, does it feel comfortable? 0 to 10. If full arms wide open doesn't feel comfortable, then what's your capacity right now? Maybe it's just right here. Maybe it's right here. This is good information for you. You want to know. No wonder I'm not receiving anything. Look at my container. I'm only willing to have a little tiny bit. We're going to change that right now. We're going to do some tapping and start to soften it and open it up. You have to know where you are to begin with. So look at that, 0 to 10, get a feeling for it. If you're not able to do the exercise right now, just ask yourself, what do I think it would be? What feels comfortable? Can I say, yes, I'm open to receiving full on? A little bit less than that, maybe it's a 4, maybe it's a 5. Great, you know where you're going to start. We're going to start tapping at the karate chop spot. Okay, and we're going to do some work on this. We're going to open this up. Even though I have some blocks about receiving, I'm not very good at it yet. My container isn't as big as I want it to be. That's okay. I'm recognizing it now. And I'm open to having a bigger container. Even though I'm not a good receiver, all these things that I want, it's hard for me to say, yes, bring them all. I can want them, but I'm recognizing I need to be open to receiving them. And I know I have some blocks because I just felt it. And I'm acknowledging myself for being willing to investigate this topic. because I'm ready for more. I'm ready to remove these blocks to receiving and open my heart just a little bit more. Even though I have some blocks to receiving, I didn't get this lesson growing up. I got the opposite message. It's better to give than receive. There's an obligation with receiving. There are consequences for receiving. I acknowledge that these are voices of the past, and they don't serve me right now because there's so much I want, and I want them with an open heart. Let's go to the points. Okay, I have some blocks to receiving. I didn't get that lesson growing up. I was taught it's better to give than receive. And so I was able to give, but it doesn't feel very comfortable to receive. It feels kind of selfish. It feels like an obligation. It's hard for me to receive. It's hard when I get a compliment or somebody just wants to do something nice for me. It doesn't feel quite comfortable. And I didn't recognize it up till now. I definitely want to be a better receiver. So I'm so glad I'm tapping on it right now. I wonder what I'd have to believe to be a good receiver. I wonder what it would be like to just be open to receiving. I bet you have to say yes more often. And thank you. And just let that be present. To have that gratitude. I probably have to have a sense of deserving. And I can work on that. I'd have to feel worthy of what I'm receiving. And I can work on that too. Because even though I don't have all of those components just yet, I can build those programs in. That's something I can work on. I can get better at that. Just a little bit more openness, a little bit more ready to receive. I can practice that. I can get better at that. I'm so glad this is a skill. And I can start practicing it right away. Practicing saying thank you. I'm ready. I'm being taken care of. I matter. Thank you. I thank you with full gratitude. That's something for me to practice right now. Take a breath. You notice we're not trying to go for the full-on concept of I'm a receiver. We want that opening, just getting more comfortable with it, acquiring the skill. Throw your arms out now. Okay? How's it feel? What's this feel like now? Is it a little bit more comfortable? Even if you were here before, are you here now? Did you give yourself just a little bit more heart room? Did you open up this area to say yes? I can say yes just a little bit more right now. Just a little bit more. Opening yourself up to receiving is one of the greatest gifts you give yourself. If it still doesn't feel comfortable, then we know that you have some work to do, and that's okay. It's work you can do that you're doing right now, and you'll continue to do it. You'll keep measuring and watch your measurement grow. Until next time, keep tapping.